and they all start chasing them. It's like, what
Yeah,
is this?
I was also young, and so like it wasn't that it hadn't been that many years since I was forced to read Shakespeare and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that it had like a Macbeth theme to it,
Right.
like Castle Elsinore
Yeah.
beer and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and like, oh yeah, the whole mouse in the bottle. Like, like
Try to get some free
there
beer out of
were.
that.
I
Told
mean,
them
yeah,
it's pound sand.
I was at the age where it was just like, yes, how do you get free beer? How can you get a free case of beer? And they were
I,
talking about how you would like get a baby mouse, put in a bottle, and just and
you're
feed it,
set for life.
and then go to
Actually,
the
I
liquor store and get a free case of beer because you had a mouse in your bottle. Like that sounded like some serious science there to me at that
I
time.
do remember my favorite sequence, and then we'll get the show on the road. Is when I think the daughter that they try to buy out of the company, she ends up getting like karate chopped or beat down by like a security
Karate
guard,
chop.
but it was so
Yeah,
obviously
just get
fake
knocked out.
because there was such distance between the punch and her face. It was
Yeah,
just
what
like
did she look like? Was she like a red? She was like a pretty little like a redhead or
brunette, I
something.
think,
Yeah, I
or
don't
something
know.
like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I'm proud of you for watching the movie. I'm glad you had some time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Um, all right, so go ahead and start recording the audio, senor.
Oh, I'm thrown off by strange brew thoughts. There was like a Star Wars theme to it also.
It was the hockey, the uniforms that looked
That's
like
right.
they looked like stormtroopers. All
I
right.
remember watching that thinking like, what in the hell? Who are these people? What is Canada? What is Canada? Like, I was like, oh, I knew there was Canada, but I didn't know they were different. You know,
All right. Three, two, one, let's go.
good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 213. I'm told of your Endless Ranters podcast. My name is Chris. Um, yeah, that's all. My name's Chris. I'm one of your
Hey,
hosts for this
Chris.
evening. Oh, hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. Hi. And I'm joined by our other hosts. It's a soggy mom and a Maxwell housewife living in a crunchy mom's world. What's going on, Kwana? How you doing?
Girl, I'm good. Happy Friday.
Girl, that's good. It is Friday. It's been a couple weeks
Friday,
since
Cray.
we last
Yeah,
recorded.
our baby was
It's
sick.
I will say it's wine o'clock and box of wine o'clock in America. I can't remember what time it
Nice.
is, but and
You drinking wine
anyway,
tonight?
yes,
It
I'm
just
on
goes to show how
strictly.
much he's drank so far. He can't get himself together. That's fine.
Did you say you're almost strictly wine? Is that what you were gonna say?
I am since I got sick. Yes,
Really?
yeah. Well, I got the flu. Well, first off,
So what, does wine not affect you when when you have the flu, or what's the deal here?
there's not a lot of science involved in this, but first off, how you doing? It's producer Manny. What's going down, mall man?
Chilling, son.
Yeah,
A lot's happened since we last got together.
yeah. Well, people start asking you about what you're drinking, and just it's a good time to change the subject.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
I
it's
know how much you love to deflect. It's part of your repertoire.
I got the flu, and yeah, I don't think I had a drink for like a week, maybe 10 days almost.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just never. But then like it's good though, because it's like wasn't
How
really
have
a
you
big deal.
managed?
Wasn't really a big deal.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
but I only had a
You're not
couple
a
beers
filthy
left.
drunk.
No, not at all. Very clean drunk. But no, I had two beers and a box of wine left when I got better. And
Yeah.
these boxes of wine, they last for 30 days. It says right on the box, 30. It'll
What?
last for, I mean, it's like if you get sick. Like, yeah, they last for 30 days.
Oh,
And
like once
there's,
you crack it?
yeah,
Okay.
it's like a marvel of modern science.
Does it know how many glasses you drink a day? I mean, just one, is that one glass a day?
Well, the thing about the box of wine is that you don't really know what's happening. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because it's like you can't see what's in the
Like the
box.
sediment, you can't see if there's mold growing in there. Can you see like the wine itself?
No, it's a cardboard box. I mean,
You know, but there's like a plastic bag inside the box, right? You could just open the box.
oh, I have done that. It's been many years, but like, yeah, at a party when I was when I had that house at my dad's house, and me and my friends had a house where we just we rented the house for my dad, and there was a few nights where we just ripped the bag out of the box of wine because
Yeah.
that's.
Like, screw the box already, man. I'm sick of it.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't want my son to hear this, but like
Make room in the fridge.
when you're 20 years old and you rip a bag of wine out of a box of wine and you're at a party, it looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. It looks pretty
Yeah.
cool. It looks like a bacchanal, like a Roman bacchanal or a
Okay.
Greek one of those old. It looks like you wore a toga and you knew what you were doing.
You and your
Okay.
bacchanals, bro. You're anytime you get
Yeah,
an
you'd have like a,
opportunity.
but no, like I'm old now and I live in the suburbs, so that's not classy at
Yeah,
all.
no
So you
bucknell
just
for you, buddy.
you keep the bag in the box. No, you can't see if there's mold. You can't really see if there's anything left.
I won't even
Uh,
buy boxed juices. Like I'm worried about boxes. Boxes have me freaked out. I don't think they're taking care of us anymore. We gotta,
well,
we
there's
gotta.
no, I mean, alcoholic box juice is gonna. I mean, there's like,
Well, I have to buy juice because Bill's diabetic, so you have to like have juice on
yeah.
hand. So I'm like, I'm not giving my baby some moldy juice. But you're like,
Oh
I'll
yeah.
drink all the moldy juice I want.
Well, it's not really juice. I mean, it's like it's got alcohol.
It's
It's got
already
stuff that.
fermented.
Yeah,
Yeah. You would know. You would know
it is
with
tricky
wine.
though because when you get down to the bottom of the box of wine, like
Mm-mm.
you think it's out, but then like you'll like tilt it and there'll be like an extra glass or two glasses of wine that comes out of the box.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna need you to do before next, well, if it lasts 30 days, your next box of wine, you need to keep a tab of the numbers. Like just do a little post it next to the fridge, just mark it down. Each glass. That way you know.
I will not be tracked
Why
by
not?
myself. I will not be tracked in any regard by anything by anybody, even myself. You
I
don't want
guess
that kind
that's true.
of. Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
okay,
don't you
yeah.
want to know what you're getting for your dollar? Like, if you have a bottle of wine, it's 4 glasses,
No,
right?
I trust the store that they're not like
It's supposed to last for 30 days.
skimping. Well, I mean, it's not going to last for 30 days, but if it
Okay.
had to,
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Now I'm
if you
clear.
got if you got COVID and you got put in the
Yeah.
hospital for 2 weeks, like you come out and you'd be fine. You wouldn't get sick.
Okay. Oh, it keeps it fresh.
That's what
Unlike
I'm
if you open
saying.
a bottle of wine. Okay, I quit drinking wine when I got sick. So I only drink champagne.
Plus, it's cold out. It's pretty cold out. Like it's been really
Yeah,
cold here. It's been
that's
like
what I was
20.
gonna
It's
say.
been
It's
like
like
the,
more of a cold drink. Wine seems like more of a
yeah,
winter
it's definitely
beverage.
How
I mean, it
dare you
gets
make light of
cold.
our Floridian supporters in their time of
Yeah.
snowpocalypse?
It gets
I
cold in
listen.
Texas normally, but this year it does seem like it's been like we have weeks at a time where it's like in the 20s and just like barely gets above freezing but it gets pretty chilly and
Just keep water running when it's cold like that.
and
Keep your pipes from freezing.
if you not really, no. Like if you live in a house that's like like a recent build, you're probably okay. If you're in an
Okay.
older house, maybe it'd be, but I think in the modern houses like the insulation is so good that I don't know, they
It's not an issue.
But I mean, but if you're in Texas, I mean, you don't really know because the builders could have gone cheap on you.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of new builds in this area, and yeah, you don't really know. So, but no, I don't
interesting.
really run the. I'll be honest, I don't really see how if I've got an outdoor spigot and I'm putting like one of those styrofoam things over it.
Oh,
I
right, right,
don't.
right.
I don't really
Yeah,
see the point of like also keeping it dripping. Like inside, maybe I don't even see the point inside really because it's like
yeah,
they're all the pipes are inside our walls and they're insulated.
right. Yeah, I
But
don't know.
in our last house, there was a freeze, and I woke up in the middle of the night with well, what I woke up to was the sound of a
Animals fighting?
no, it was the sound of water cutting through drywall and then slamming into
Oh,
the side of a Honda Civic, my wife's car at the
mm.
time.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
I was like, what's that sound? It sounds like water hitting metal. But it was like the inside of our garage, a pipe burst, and it just saws through the drywall, and then it was just like a laser beam into the side of her car door. Like
Freaking
Wow.
lasers.
it was a freaking laser of water.
That's crazy. Water's
Yeah.
crazy. Water will make a way. It's just so crazy. Water is
But
so
that
wild.
if that happens to you once, you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like now you're kind of like, I'm gonna put a heater in my garage. I'm gonna move. I just gotta move.
Yeah.
Move.
We have a bunch of pipes. This house is like, I think about that sometimes. Like there's sprinkler system up there, which means there's water up there, which means,
You have a sprinkler system in your house? Is
uh-huh.
that a California? We don't have that.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. It was, I mean, obviously when they said it, it was a selling point. I was like, well, that's cool, but it also seems like problematic also. Like just one more thing that could go wrong in a house, you know?
Yes, I'd be like, oh no. And also,
Yeah.
is it gonna work? And
Right.
should I test it? Like, how do you test a sprinkler
They're,
system?
yeah, no, they're all over. They're just like the little, they're flat against the ceiling, but you can see that they drop down. But yeah, it's a
I
real
think
small
I
place and there's a ton of like fire alarm, like it, the alarm will go off if the shower, like the for shower steam, like it's real sensitive. So,
Damn. Fuck
but the
that.
water hasn't come on, so
Oh, okay.
I wonder, I think I had an apartment that had sprinklers in there. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I
Guess
guess
that
it
makes
would
sense.
save, you know, it does feel good to, you know, for somebody that has anxiety like me.
I do worry, yeah, like I do worry though, like the more of that kind of stuff you have in your
Yeah.
house, like just the more like
At
Yeah,
at
something that
risk.
could go wrong.
you have to hire a specialist to come
Oh
in and
my,
that's
yeah,
licensed and bonded to work on this stuff and make sure it's okay. And then yeah.
yeah,
I just
yep,
want to
See,
move into the woods, build a house, and then build a barn over that house.
yeah.
Like that picture I sent earlier today.
keep it real simple.
I just like a barn house, like the open concept of a barn with like a loft is so dreamy to me. Like that is like the most. I would love that. I
Yeah,
would
I do
love a
feel
big
like
barn. They call them barn dominiums or
barn
whatever. I would
dominiums, yep.
love it.
What the
Love
fuck?
that.
What's
Just
very
wide
upsetting to
open.
me, like I have some regrets in my life that well, I think that there's a lot of dudes out there with barn dominiums.
Uh-huh.
And what those dudes did was they laid off the chicks when they were 18 and 19 and they went to trade
Yeah.
school and they started welding and they fucking worked their asses off and they stopped running around like drinking all the time and fucking around
Going to Chili's on Fridays.
and yeah, I'm like yeah, and fucking having going to Bennigan's and like just trying to like bang everything that moved, whatever. It's like they now own barndominiums and they have all the power tools and they've got just yeah, and they're just kicking ass.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're like they're my age and they're not really working anymore except for what they want to do. And they tell people to
Right.
fuck off when they don't want to, like
Yeah.
because they hunkered down about 30 years ago. But
Yeah.
Play the
yeah,
cards right.
You got to show your son. Look at this.
I do. I really do. Because
Yeah.
he's at a crossroads now where it's like,
Once you slide in, it's hard to slide back out.
you want to hunker down or you want to be popular? You want to barn dominion when you're 45 and tell the world to fuck off, or do you want to be popular now? It's a tough one.
Be
It's a
wise
tough one.
about it. Be very
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
I really mean that though. There's a lot like yeah,
Yeah.
these things are not rare. There is a whole like culture and class of people in America that they
Have
went
it
out and
together.
they got it together. They got it.
They figured it out.
They're not in the suburbs fighting traffic like you're in the big city. Like you
Nope.
Yeah.
move like yeah. I'm in the suburbs and I'm like driving to work and I'm like in traffic jams. Like,
Yeah. Bill says it every day. Like, where is everybody going? Why aren't they at work? Like, why are people out on the street? Like, it's just so many people. Just
well, I don't
the
see people
roads
on the
are all
street.
congested. No, I mean the roads are congested. Like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
cars everywhere. There's people driving everywhere. Where are they going?
Well, in our case, they're all going to work, but it's like that no one really planned around here like for all the growth and the all the
Right.
people to be here.
Here too.
Like everybody's very happy to have everybody move here
Yeah.
and build all these neighborhoods, but then it's like there's no roads to fit everybody.
Yep.
It's like, oh, we didn't plan that far ahead.
No, it's that way here too. The
Yeah.
suburbs are just like it's a congestion to get out of it. It's a congestion to get into it. Yep.
That's why you should
Sorry.
move into the suburbs. Stay away, and never return. It's a trap,
Oh
everybody.
yeah. Well, it's just it's the human condition, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what's on our list of all the things to talk about? We've got so many things to talk about.
Such a busy, I mean, just well, Pete Hegseth just got confirmed, so that's something to talk about. Just
That
happened,
is
brand
great
new,
news.
breaking it.
Yep, yep, that is
I
great
put the
news.
list right at the top in our,
You're right, you did. Thank you.
I don't have any way of accessing it at the moment. I'm sorry.
okay.
So, Quana,
Well, we can
should
just start right at the top with the inauguration. I mean, that was, or if you want to start with you being sick, I mean, we could discuss
I
that.
was gonna start with
nah.
me. It's gonna
Yeah.
start with me.
I figure we could end on with
Just
Chris
go
being sick.
straight. Well, I was just gonna say, all I had to say was like, I wasn't about to die or anything, but like, when you get so sick that you forget what it
Yeah.
feels like to feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like that. So I was like,
When
I was
fever
at the
hits you
point where I
as
was
an
like,
adult, it's really hard.
yeah, I
It's
was like, I wonder what it feels like not to feel like every muscle in my body has been punched and like pulled and like every
yeah.
joint in my body. And like, I wonder what that feels like. I wonder what it
Yeah.
feels like to
Hmm.
be able to breathe out of my nose.
I
Like you're just like, I
told
know
you,
I did it. I
onions
know
in
I
your
did it.
socks, you wouldn't do it. You could have been well a week in advance.
I
Could
was
have
like, I
had you out of bed
knew,
3 days.
I, yeah, I know at some point, like I could breathe out of my nose and I didn't feel like I had been shot, like 50 Cent 80 times, but like I'm having a hard time remembering what it feels like to not, you know, feel horrible. But anyway, I just have a cough now and I'm trying to get my voice back. That's all I got to say about that.
Is everybody in your
That's,
house better?
uh,
Were
yeah,
they
just about.
stronger? You probably had the worst case, right?
Well, it hits men different.
It does.
Um,
A little bit
it's
harder.
it's scientifically proven.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But
That's why
I
women have to carry
think
the babies. You guys could never.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'll try to.
The pain, you couldn't take the pain. I'm going to tell you, you could
I'm
not
gonna
take
try
the
to take
pain.
it in the most generous light.
Yeah.
Well, no, we feel pain different.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
my thing was like I got sick, I gotta sleep. Like I know all you all feel sick too, but I gotta sleep. Like my sleep is important because I gotta get strong again. You know what I mean? Like I feel so helpless
Hmm.
when I go down like that. Like I gotta like I'm like in my brain I'm just like if everybody would just leave me alone for 24 hours and
Be
let me
great.
sleep, I would be back to 100% and I'll be able to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah. It just hit you harder. So you were down longer than everyone else, or just harder. The initial was
No,
harder.
I don't think down low. I think I was like back on my feet a little bit earlier,
Okay.
but not really.
Yeah.
But just because I
Hmm.
felt like I had to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm joking because I mean, my wife is tough as nails.
Well,
So
see the woman. It has to be.
yeah. Well, she's not as physically strong as I am
Right,
normally.
obviously. I
So
mean,
she's
if we
used
need like a
to.
jar opened or something moved that's heavy,
Well,
like
I'm just saying,
obviously,
like
but
when
like,
y'all get sick and you feel weak, it's not really unusual. You know what I mean? To like,
mm,
yeah. I hope you felt
it is
that.
more common. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's like a normal state
True. That
of
is true.
weakness, you know.
That is true.
Whereas for us, it's a very confusing state of like, why
Oh,
can't I move? Like, why can I barely pick up a glass of water? Like, it's very
yeah.
confusing.
It's
For y'all, it's kind of
hard.
normal. It's kind of normal
Yeah,
for you.
it's hard. It's
We should
hard.
probably move on, like Manny said.
Yeah, he's sick of you.
He agrees with me 100%.
Yeah.
That's right, boss.
But so yeah, the inauguration. I mean,
Beautiful.
it's only. Uh, I was listening
I
to Two
know.
Grumpy Bastards earlier. Our friends Cooper Russ, but like they were saying, it feels like he's been in office for like a month or
Yeah,
longer. But like
it's been days, hours.
it's Friday, and it's Friday. What it's 9:36 Central Time, but like as of 6 p.m. what or 8 o'clock Central Time, Donald Trump was in California, like in a room in a warehouse, talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
with his wife, like on camera, on TV, talking to
And he had
local
been in North
politicians and local
Carolina
leaders.
earlier, right? The same day.
Yeah, the dude is a workhorse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's crazy. Yeah, he's in California, he's in Los Angeles, he's like talking to people. And as I was saying during our happy
Happy
hour, it's like
hour.
he really just I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody thinks. I'm starting
I'm
to love this man more and more.
I'm getting sick of people
You know,
what people have to think,
it's a beautiful
right?
thing
Like it
that
just oh,
it touches me as a regular dude. I really think I'm a regular nobody, whatever. It
you
touches
seem
me
pretty
that
regular.
Donald Trump is like he pays attention to regular American life.
Yeah, that's true. I agree
He
with
is,
that.
I mean, at the same time, he does all the parties, like he does all the New York parties, and he's always been that guy. But and maybe he's just like a Fox News junkie, Twitter junkie, whatever. But like he pays
He has a
attention
lot of
to
people that
regular.
are also telling him like about the regular stuff, you know. He's got his finger on the pulse. He's got a lot
I don't
of
even think he needs those. I think he has those people, but I think that he does it himself. Like he knows, he understands regular American people.
yeah. I saw a video of him on the plane and he had like three or four people like sitting around him and he was like they were like formulating a tweet. He's like, yeah, send it. Like send it. Like he was, you know, he's just like so on it.
His
I
tweet
love it.
team, is that what it is?
Sweet team.
He did
I love
something
it.
like
I'm here for
he
angry tweets.
always
I want more angry tweets. I want more all caps. When he goes all caps, my favorite. I love it.
the angry tweets are great, but it's like if and not everybody has the time and people don't have the patience, but it's like if you listen to him talk, he always weaves in stuff that you can't be fake about.
Yeah.
Like I think tonight he was talking about like some local politician from Paradise, California, because that was the
Hmm.
fire. That was the fire like 4, 5, 7, 8 years ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was 2018. No, yeah,
That sounds about right.
yeah,
It was his first term, I think. Um, but some local person was like, "Thank you so much because what you did at that time like helped us rebuild."
right.
And he started talking about it, and he started talking about like the German shepherds that they used, that the local fire department used to find people that had passed away, perished in that
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Hmm.
That
And
was a
it was,
horrible fire.
but when he talks about that stuff, it's like
Jesus.
he's paying attention to regular, everyday American life.
Um, well, I
Like
mean, just going to North
maybe,
Carolina, he wasn't in office
yeah.
8 hours, and North Carolina was already seeing a difference. They were moving them into furnished apartments. Like he must have already had a team in place to get stuff done so that it could just be immediate, which also is like, of course, why wouldn't you do that? Right? Like
But what he
it's
did there,
disgusting.
like I know that he's gonna get FEMA and there's gonna be a lot of money, gonna be a lot of roads fixed, a lot of red tape cut. But
Yeah,
what he did there that was so beautiful to me, and if you are so jaded that you can't appreciate it, then F you. I feel
exactly.
sorry for you. But like what he did there was he sat there and he listened to regular American people like talk about the
Their experiences.
their most devastating experiences of their life, and he just listened. And he just like and he found a way to convey to them that he cared, that he understood, like he was hearing them, and like yes, his penthouse and the gold toilet was
Right.
untouched by the
Yeah.
floods,
Right.
but like he still finds a way to listen to those people, look them in the eye, and just listen.
Yeah.
And like it's all it takes is 20 minutes or 45 minutes or maybe 90 minutes
Right.
to stand there and deal with the awkwardness and the uncomfortableness of like having people tell you like their most tragic stories and being like and just stand there and
He
saying
went
I'm
to Maui
sorry.
before Biden did. He was
Yeah,
in
and I'm
Maui
saying
before Biden did.
and just stand there and saying I'm sorry and just listening and then just making promises that are probably going to take a long time to come through, maybe days, weeks, months, whatever, but
Right.
like making promises that give people hope.
Right.
And it's so simple. And if you're jaded out there, again, F you. But if
Yeah.
you're so jaded that you can't appreciate that like that's like part of the human condition is just I just want someone to listen to me.
Being heard, seen. I mean,
Uh,
that God, they must feel so forgotten. So many people feel
yeah.
so forgotten in this country.
Then I
So
would just
many
say like the
people.
people that don't appreciate, like you're gonna keep losing. Like you, whatever your causes
Yeah.
are, they will lose.
Yeah.
You are not good. Um, yeah, you're gonna lose. You're gonna keep
It's
losing until you get on
it
board.
just it just went too far. It went too far. Like it just everything went too far. So it has to right itself. Everything writes itself. It goes this way and it goes that way. And it's going to balance out. That's what I keep hoping that people will see. Like, if people could just breathe, but like, you even see people in our group, they're like, well, why hasn't he done this? It's like, it's been
Yeah,
24 hours, bro. Calm
yeah,
down.
yeah. I mean, I would, yeah, like I said, let it, let those insane thoughts consume you.
Yeah.
Dwell on it. Dwell on the fact that Donald Trump didn't end the Ukraine war in one day.
Yeah.
And that like because he's already told you that it thinks it'll take 100 days or so.
Yeah.
Dwell on those little petty little bicker, like petty little things. Yeah, dwell on
Weird.
it
Weird.
because it takes a lot of energy right now. Um, so the number one, like, so yeah, he's been on a roll.
Yeah. I mean,
The January 6th pardons, and whew,
yeah. He did the
just
pro-life pardons too. I
the
saw a
pro
lady
life
get
pardon. Yeah,
released from prison. She'd been in there for a couple years, and all she did was pray in front of an abortion clinic, and she was in prison for 2 years.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
It is crazy, and as it makes me think of a story in England because there was a woman in England that didn't even pray out loud. She was by like an abortion clinic in England, in
You mean she was
London.
praying to herself in her mind?
Yes, the police. This is a video. There's a video of the police, like her telling the police not out loud in my head, and they arrested her. But anyway, that's a tangent. But like in England, the wheels are coming off.
Oh yeah, well, I
Wheels are coming
mean,
off in
they
England.
were arresting people for Facebook posts. I mean, and that's where we were headed. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like, I mean, I understand gaslighting. I've been in a lot of situations where that has been happening to me. I get it. But it's just like it's so wild how the things that they're projecting are like literally what we've been living through. You know what I mean? It's weird. So weird.
The J6 pardons, um, I'm okay with it, really. I
Yeah.
do. I would have liked a little bit more of like,
Was the shaman pardoned?
oh
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mm,
yep, he was completely pardoned. Yep.
I mean,
okay.
there's all video evidence of his entire experience at the Capitol, and uh, I don't know, whatever.
I'll be honest, like the United States government treated that guy like Iraqis treat Christians or like Iraqis treat gays or something like that. I'm straight up like, uh,
Just made a spectacle.
you should tell your kids like whatever horror you see overseas. Our government has done that to American citizens within
Yes.
the last few years, where that guy was put in a cage. I mean, he's obviously mentally ill, but it's like,
A
Hmm.
lot of
yeah.
other people that
Uh,
did way
oh,
less than he did were put in
yeah.
cages and were given no court dates. They never got tried or brought before a judge. 3 years, one guy was in prison and never had a charge brought against him.
Yeah, get ready
That's
for
wow.
I'll tell you who's in real big trouble. Some of the COs, the correct federal corrections
Yeah.
officers.
They
Hmm.
had to send the marshals
If
in
you
to get
dig a
some of
little,
these people.
if you dig a little bit in like Twitter, um, the some of the former January 6th prisoners, political prisoners, were tortured by their corrections officers. And they are naming names and showing pictures and LinkedIn profiles of
What?
federal corrections officers who were abusing prisoners. So
Hmm.
there is a reckoning coming for, um,
Like
Everybody?
abusing how,
I will just
Christopher?
say like,
Like sexually abusing or
no, just physical abuse. I mean,
okay.
maybe, but like that's yet to come out. And I don't think that, but it's just like physical abuse. And these are not. Um, the few
The
that I've
correctional
seen,
officers are weird, right? Like, I'm
the
not saying
few that
all,
I
but
have,
goodness gracious.
I'll just say the few that I've seen where they've shared their pictures and profiles, these are not Tom Hanks in The Green Mile.
Yeah, no.
These are more like, what was the guy name? What was the guy's name in that show with the skateboarder, Big Chris,
Big Rob, Robin Big.
Robin Big? Yeah, these COs look a little bit more like Big.
Yeah, yeah.
So they look like
Just
Have you
really
guys watched that
intimidating
series, The
large
Mayor of
dudes.
Kingstown?
No, but I'm familiar with it.
It's very
yeah, that's a
good.
good
It's a
show.
really good
Good show.
series, but like the correctional officers in that show, like it's a dirty business, it appears to be, right?
So yeah, like the COs that they're sharing the names of, they're very very large black men that were beating the shit out of white guys in prison in federal
Wow.
and justice coming.
Wow,
And
that's crazy.
I guess they were kind of dumb enough to think that, well, first off, I don't want to
Untouchable.
I don't want to insult people, but like if you're a federal corrections officer, you're probably not a genius. You probably didn't like knock it out of the park on your aptitude tests in high
Hmm.
school.
It is a
Um,
special,
and
like,
you probably thought that, oh, these guys are in prison and what's the guy's name, that piece of shit rat bastard federal prosecutor Jack Smith.
okay,
And yeah,
there's so many.
you probably think like Jack Smith and like Donald Trump is gonna go to jail, so you can just do whatever you want to these prisoners.
Yeah,
Oh, but it didn't really work out like that. And turns out Donald Trump's president again,
yeah,
and he pardoned all these guys that you were beating because you thought you were covered. You thought Jack Smith was going to protect you,
Hmm.
but now he's on the run and he's protecting himself,
yeah,
and you're about to lose your pension, and you're about to go to prison, and you're about to have a whole lot of rednecks
yeah.
coming
Dang.
after you. It's like,
The tables have
man,
turned.
the stupidity, the stupidity, the stupidity is like, yeah. But anyway, yeah,
Be
justice is
interesting to
coming.
hear if there were like orders from above to the it was fine, because they're the warden and it's
I
not,
think
you know what
that
I
like
mean?
folks in that kind of position
Sure.
over prisoners
Mm-hmm.
don't really need a lot of like guidance from above to be
Push.
cruel. Yeah, they don't really need
Right.
a lot of. They just need kind of like a little wink, wink. Like,
Well, they are dealing with some of the worst people in the world. But
yeah.
so,
Well,
I
they
mean,
were. Well, I mean, you could just imagine like in the Soviet Union when there was like a like a warden dealing with a
Hmm.
political prisoner.
yeah,
Not a robber. Not a
so
thief who
maddening.
like but like a political prisoner who had no was really
So
hated.
sad.
But yeah,
It's
there's a
so
lot of
sad.
anyway, that's the side, but there's stuff coming out about that, and that's just the beginning. Yeah, but those
Well,
dumbasses thought they were gonna just like abuse people in a basement,
yeah,
Never had to
and
answer
that and
for
that
it.
and that the Democrats were just gonna be in charge forever.
yep. It's wild.
I mean,
It's the
they probably were right to think that the Democrats would be in charge for another 4 years,
yeah.
but now it's
They were so quiet when Biden was in office. Like
it's
there was
reckoning
nothing that
time.
they said nothing. Like, and so many things were happening, like the withdrawal in Afghanistan, like silent, the missing children, silent, the their celebrities turn out to be these horrible people, silent, like all of the silence. And now Trump's been in office for however many days, and like they're all starting to like ramp back up. It's been 4 days and they're already like, I saw a post today, like basically saying, I can't believe you voted you're so ignorant that you're falling for this oppression, that I'm going to be oppressed. Like, Jacob,
Well,
please.
listen, egg
I'm
prices
seeing
have
all that
shot up
stuff
30
too, but
cents,
it's like,
so we are being
yeah.
oppressed.
Yeah, on some level. Yeah, I would say that Donald Trump is probably understands that better than most presidents or any recent president. that people are being silenced. Yeah. I don't think
Hmm.
he is I don't think he is a Christ figure that's going to set us free by any means, but
Far from it.
I think he does understand that he has a job to do, and it's to do a lot of damage against the Pharisees, if you will, and the establishment. And like he's got 4 years to do as much damage as
When
possible.
he said what he said about the fires today in LA, I thought my first thought was this motherfucker has nothing to lose. Like literally, he could tell everything. He could unfold everything. He has nothing to lose. Nothing. He could say, yeah, they burnt down Maui. Yeah, they started fires in LA. He could literally say who they are. Like he has nothing to lose. Nothing.
Yeah, I do.
It's wild. Like what a
On that,
hand.
he does have a hand. I think a lot about post 9/11, George W. Bush, Republican Party. There was a period in, I don't know, late 2001, early 2002, where if you think back, you're like, the Republicans are never going to lose an election again. But they did. But they sure did. They were like, oh, let's do the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
And they just like went overboard. They did, and they were like weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. They just told a bunch of unnecessary lies.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, not I don't really regret what we did, but it's like they didn't need to tell lies about it. Um, so I kind of think about that now, and I'm like, I wonder how long Trump and JD Vance and Elon can keep this up. Because in real, like just maybe it's all good. Maybe they're going to roll, but like in American politics, the guys that are on top, they do find a way to fuck things up. Like they really do find a way to like turn people against them. They take their popularity too far. So
I think
that's
I think
I'm a
though,
little
like
worried about. I'm a little bit worried about. Not terribly,
there's
but
been a lot of talk, and I know that it was all like conspiracy, blah, 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 blah. But all of the things that they've been talking about are unfolding. And I think that there is a reckoning of some sort, whether it's just the lies that have been told to the American people in the past 4 years. Like, I think there's so much that people are going to start waking up. There's no way you can live through the next 4 years and not like, wow, really? That was a lie?
I think that
I hope.
the waking up metaphor is good.
Yeah.
I do think I kind of agree with you, but I think the waking up metaphor may be wrong because it's like that's like a sudden thing. And I think it's going to be more like a slow,
Realization.
Right.
well, they're going to be snoozing a lot.
Sure.
They're
It's
going to
like,
wake,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're going to
Yeah,
be
sorry.
snoozing a lot, and every time they snooze, they're going to make a lot of like mental compromises that allow them to kind of cope with this new reality that like, that all that stuff you lost. There's only two
Hmm.
genders now. Trump is just doing executive order to wipe out Obama, all the bullshit Obama did by executive order, all the bullshit that Biden did by executive order.
Right.
So he's not only going to wipe all that stuff out that way, but he's also going to have a pretty good mandate with Congress, with his cabinet, to just make all kinds of change without really, and there's really nothing anybody can do about it. Like you can
Yeah.
freak out all you want. You can talk
Yeah.
about, I mean, if you're a leftist, you could talk about revolution and let's get more. Let's yeah, go Luigi. Let's go get more. But like, there's nothing you can do about this. What's happening right now?
Yeah.
Like you've really lost. Um, right now with Trump, it's beyond what's right and wrong. It's just what
Right.
it is. It is what it is. It is.
Yeah.
These dudes won, and
Right.
I hope they are. I hope they are good-hearted because
Did
they
you see the
won,
video
and
of the
they're.
Marines dropping at the border? Like it's
Yep.
so fucking
Yeah, and it's the things they're
it's
doing to
on.
win are so easy. Like
Yeah.
I keep like when I see those things, I keep tweeting back. Like I tweet at Kamala. I'm just like at Kamala Harris. If you and Joe Biden would have sent like one group of Marines, whatever you want to call it, like one squadron. If you would have just sent one group of Marines with some Humvees to the border, and made a video of it, like you'd probably be president right now. Like if you had gone to North Carolina and just
Yeah.
listen and just sat there at a table and listened to people
Yeah.
essentially kind of gripe or just tell you, like just pour their heart about their bad luck,
Bethany
you,
Finkel from the Real
she'd be
Housewives of
president.
New York can't be doing more for disaster victims than our own government
Yeah.
is doing. Like that's
Well,
it.
like you could throw all the money and like whatever, but it's like what Donald Trump is doing, there's no price tag on just going there and sitting there and listening to people
Yeah.
tell you their worst experience ever and just looking at them in the eyes and just saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. And then they actually see that you're looking at them and making eye contact.
Yeah.
And that even though you have a gold toilet, again, in a penthouse in New York, like you do actually
That
feel
hasn't been the focus for
sorry.
a long time. I haven't really heard a lot of gold toilet
I
talk.
know,
I mean,
but
that's
it's
like a,
I'm kind of saying that because it's like this man has a gold toilet,
yeah. No, yeah. His
and
life
but
experience is different than ours for sure.
he's still able to look people that have just lost everything in the eye, and they feel like he's listening. Like
Yeah.
you're
Think
either
about
an
the
incredible
millions
con
of
man,
deals he's made. No,
you're
he's made
either
so many deals.
yeah.
Like he's always talking to people. He's talking to doormen and cab drivers and the guy in the elevator. And like that's why he is who he is. I'm
I mean,
sorry
and
if
maybe all the pink
actually
hair
I'm not
fruitcakes
sorry.
are right, and maybe he's a just like a next level out of this world con man. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like to the nth
Carney
degree.
Barker. Yeah.
But you better bow down and respect it because it's like it
Yeah.
works.
It's
Because
on.
he like all those people in North Carolina,
They all loved him. First of all, everyone
yes,
loved Trump. Everyone loved Trump. The Apprentice was the number one show. I'm sorry, you're only a number one show if everyone's watching. And everyone was watching not because they hated Trump, they're watching because they loved Trump. So the media told them to hate Trump. And you can tell who is controlled
it's
by the
interesting
media, I
because you're so
guess.
right. You are so right. But
Thank
it's
you.
like, but like at the same time, like Trump during the Apprentice years, I guess there were glimpses of him showing like
Him and
real human
Melania coming down.
compassion.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
That
mean? But
too.
like, but it was also
Seeing
like a
both
cut. That
sides.
was like a cutthroat, like a produced show. But even in that cutthroat produced show,
He had his kids on it. He had on
he found
loyal
a way. Like,
employees
yeah,
that did
yeah,
show that he was human. Like the guy that worked for him, been with them for 30 years. Like that people were actually very loyal to him and
yeah,
respected him. Yeah, the boardroom was great. I love the boardroom.
yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
experience. Love
It's
that show.
been. I mean, it's been so long since I mean, I think I might have watched that show like the first couple seasons because it was new and interesting. But after that, I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
No,
like
I
no.
lived for
But
those kind. Yeah, I loved
yeah,
it.
it's like even in that era, because at that point in time, he was still Trump. Like he wasn't in North Carolina listening to flood victims Trump.
Yeah.
He was still golden toilet Trump at that point.
Yeah.
He was still Inside Edition Billy Bush interview
I think
Trump.
he's secret though. Like
You know,
there, and you'll hear a lot of people say like Donald Trump's dad, I don't know if you've heard this story or not, but like a kid in his school died and like his dad went to the mom and like paid the tuition of the other two kids. Like there's a lot of great stories of New Yorkers saying things about Trump too, like that. Like that he has always been a man of the people. Like I don't think in New York proper a lot of
yeah.
people have bad things to say about him. I think he's always been. I mean, when he went to meet with all the rabbis, I mean, you can't say what you want to say. Like, it's just the reality is the reality. Quit fucking gaslighting me. Sorry, you know,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something special. Yeah, I don't,
Either Jesus. Just kidding.
you got to be pretty jaded now. I mean, and I
Yeah.
get it. I mean, like I get it. You know, there was times during the Obama years where Obama could have sent me a check for $50,000. I'd have been like, fudge, like, what is this
Thanks,
all about?
Obeezy.
Like,
Is
what are
this
you
a
Yeah.
trying to
trap?
do? I'd be like, what are you trying to do, commie? Like, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, you could be so opposed, but it's like, so I get it. on one level, but it's like at the same time, it's like it's got to take a lot of energy at this point to keep fighting this, to keep minimizing what he's doing, to
They
keep.
don't even see it. I don't think they see it. Their news must not. I have to start watching CNN because I have to believe that their news is not telling them
I
that
oh, I
the
still
border's
think that
closed.
I I still think that this is not a good commentary, but I think it's true. Like a lot of Americans, a lot of people, a lot of humans, like just worldwide, made a decision about Trump in 2015, just like they make a decision about like pineapple on pizza when they were fucking 22 and stupid as shit. Like
Wow.
they made an opinion
Cheers
and
to that.
they made an opinion like at some point a long time ago and they just will not let it go.
Yeah.
They can't let it go, even though they
Yeah.
had pineapple pizza one time, Hawaiian pizza, and tasted
It's
pretty
so
good.
good. I want pizza.
Like they cannot let it go. Like they decided that Trump was a shyster con man in 2015, and they
Yeah.
will not let that go. They will not let that go.
I got into it in a Facebook group last night and I heard all kinds of things that I've never heard before about him, about myself. Like I was like, wow, these
Oh
You
yeah,
bring
yeah.
it out of
mostly
people.
women. I do.
You
I do.
you
It's
bring
It's
it
all a
true.
out of
blur.
them.
Like
I do. I do.
somebody, some nut job called me like a cis white header, like, and I was like that. I was like, I was like, that's kind of like you're kind of a racist clown. He was like, how am I racist? And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, just like you just
How are
call
Like
me
you
I'm
a
not?
obviously
cis
Asian.
white. So I was like, it's just comical. Like it takes a lot of energy to stay that stupid. You know what I mean? Like
Yes. At this
got to be
point,
like it's got to be like the
yes.
guys like no, it's got to be like in like the age of Galileo. The like the not the priests that were threatened by him, but like the common people that were like the earth is flat, we should set this motherfucker on fire. You know, like it takes a lot of energy to stay that stupid.
Is it that or is it fear?
Amen, brother.
I mean, either way, it's like it just yeah, that fear can create some
Well,
energy, right?
they might be addicted to the fear. You know what I mean? Like I think that people get addicted to that. It gives you like a dopamine rush when you're mad and worked up and have all these interactions online where you're fighting with people. Like I think people get into that, really.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's like a fair criticism of a lot of movements. So like when you feel like you're victimized and like you're up against it, like people get real unified.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, they came at me last night. They were like, and another thing. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't care. Cheers, bitches.
Oh, I really
Yeah.
like it when but people come back for a second round before you get a chance to
Yeah.
reply.
I love that.
Like,
Yes.
please
Because I'll do
stop,
it my
okay?
every now and then I'll do it myself. I'll come back for a second shot before the
Yeah.
person has it, and I admit that like that's not a good look on me, but I just can't help it.
And another thing.
So people come at me and then they come at me again before I have a chance to even see it. It's like
Yeah.
I got one. I got a big one on.
Yeah, I was like I said what I had to say and then I was like I'm gonna go take a bath and but Bill's been sick so I was like he went into the bedroom so I couldn't go take a bath so I was like oh well now I look who has time. It's me.
Yeah, one thing about our little friendship group here is like we have some crazy stuff happen and we don't really tell each other about it sometimes. Like Manny's like running from fires. Your man's got like
Yep.
is going to like surgery today. What the fuck? What's going on? How's he doing?
He had cancer on his neck, skin
Whoa.
cancer.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but it's gone. So, but the
Too was
scar
spending too
is
much time out in
it's
the sun or
so
what?
exactly. He's been competing with me for 16 years and he is so fair skinned. So very, very
Oh yeah.
skinned. But so he had a little mark on his neck, and then they found another mark. So when they biopsied it a couple weeks ago, we didn't know. His appointment was 2 weeks. His surgery was scheduled for 2 weeks from now, but they had a
Hmm.
cancellation, so they moved him up because it is important to get it out. I mean, obviously. So, but the incision is huge, and I have to. It's like in a spot that he can't take care of it.
Oh,
I like the
okay.
first time I was like, well, like when he first got home from the original biopsy, like I started seeing stars, like I had to lay down because it was so bad. I don't do good with like incisions, and I'm just like I'm horrible. I'm the
It's
worst.
too much for you
In
or
an
what?
emergency situation, I am the absolute worst. You do not want me. I don't know who to call. I like everything goes blank. Like I am of no service to anybody. So yeah, and wounds and things like that, like I pass out. Like I go like just fully out. So yeah, no, it's good. It looks good. It's good. It's really good. So we're doing that for
All
3 more days.
right.
So,
Well,
but
that's
yeah, he's
good.
good. We're good. He's gonna make it. So, and he'll probably be out in the sun
He's gonna
again
make it.
this summer.
He's not going to lose the rest of his skin.
No, he's good. It's good. He like he made it seem bigger, like to his boss and stuff. And I was like, why are you saying that? I was like, I don't know. It's like, so I made it smaller to everybody else. I didn't tell anybody because he made it so big with his people. I mean, it is big. He literally had cancer removed off his neck. It is a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a big deal.
Yeah. And
Well,
there's probably 16 stitches in there. Like it's about 6 inches long, the incision is, so big.
while we're on the
Dude.
subject of big, can we talk about how much the
Whoa,
lesbians in
whoa.
Los Angeles are getting paid to be your fire department, to run your fire department,
Is
maybe?
that crazy? And all they did was paint extinguishers rainbow, and
It's
there's no
amazing.
And don't
water in
forget,
them.
it's our fault if we get trapped in the fire.
It's really like
Yeah,
I
Manny.
forget who I was listening. I was listening to somebody, and they were like,
So mean.
they were talking about how like they see all these positions like the fire chief of Los Angeles. They see these as just like ceremonial positions,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and they treat them as such. But then like when the city starts burning down,
Oh shit! You mean there's responsibilities that come with
like
these positions too?
no one competent is in charge because they've just been at like rainbow celebrations the last 2 years, like just like rainbow
And
ribbon
wasn't one of them
cutting.
beating up
Like
their girlfriend and writing like love letter? Tell, give the
I
details
didn't hear
of
about
that.
that. No, no, I didn't hear
Lister
about
has the
that.
details. He has the details of that.
oh my goodness.
But I am not surprised. I am aware of the high statistical rate of women on women abuse in lesbian relationships. But anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
those
it's the
stats
bed
are.
death. They're not having sex. They have to beat each other up.
I'm
I don't
not
even know
one
if I
to
can
king
find it,
shame,
but
but if
this.
you got to beat someone up to get off, I don't know, man. That doesn't sound healthy
I'm
at
not even
all.
sure if I can find the letter that. Yeah, because I guess at some point they tried to promote some woman to like the assistant to the fire, the chief. And then I guess it turned out that this woman had like a record and she had beat up her girlfriend, threatened to kill herself, like wrote
Oh my
some
gosh.
crazy like middle school and literally like the person they tried to
Yeah,
put in charge of your fire like wrote a crazy middle school suicide letter like just not that long ago even.
on binder paper with pencil, like literally,
Yeah,
it
I'm
looked
trying to
like.
find it so I can read some excerpts because it's like
Dude.
it reads like a middle school suicide note or something. I
Yeah,
can't.
was so wild.
But yeah, so they tried to. I mean, it's just like like the LA Fire Department chief's making $700,000 a year with bonuses. Like that's more than the
Yeah,
president of the United States.
how is that even possible?
Like I
Our
understand the
ca- our
market
our state is
economy.
bankrupt, right? Like
Yeah,
we aren't doing good over here. How are they? How is that in the budget?
like I don't want to get crazy here because I understand that like it's a market
Hmm.
economy and the CEO of United Healthcare is going to make $30 million a year or get paid some insane amount of money, and that's a lot more than $700,000 a year. But like the fire chief of a city making
Crazy.
like
I just put the letter in the group
oh
chat.
yeah I'll read it.
Sorry.
Uh, yeah, this is someone that they tried to make the assistant fire chief. She wrote
Oh,
this letter
good.
a few years ago. Uh, it does not address anyone, but it's just dated 10/10/21. Oh, that's my anniversary. I'm writing this letter to say I'm sorry to a few people in my life who I know will miss me.
No.
Unfortunately, I got involved with a crazy, selfish, immature woman named blankety blank blank sometimes goes by. Oh, it's so good. She got involved with a person that is named something, but also parentheses sometimes goes by something else. That's a red flag number one, dumbass. Like some of you, yeah, like my new like okay. If you come into anybody and you'll be like, oh, my new girlfriend or my new boyfriend has an AKA, like
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's what they call a red flag.
Rethink your
Amen.
life and take some advice and
Yep.
do the opposite of everything you've ever thought.
Oh,
To be opposite George from Seinfeld. Some of you know the intimate details of the last 3 years of my life. Red flag two. No one should know the intimate details of your life for any period of time except for your love, like your partner.
Right.
Like if multiple people know the intimate
this was
details of
somebody
your
that we were
life,
going to hire. She was in our fire
she was
department.
in it, and then like the person, the other crazy one that she beat up, because I don't want to
The
like make
other
her a hero,
one.
because like she's probably crazy, because this is a like because she's being
Probably.
described here. She's the immature woman named blankety blank that sometimes goes by blankety blank. So
Okay.
blankety blank, aka blankety blank.
Are we assuming that Blanky Blank is the now fire chief that's kind of
No,
like,
no, no. Blankety blank is the crazy
Mm,
girlfriend that the fire chief in
dated or
temporary
beat up.
fire, yeah, beat up, lunged at, and then wrote this letter about, and then and then started like it was a really wild 24 hours because this person that was the assistant fire chief in 24 hours she lunged at an ex-girlfriend, tried to beat her up. Um,
we've all been
uh,
there. We
also
listen and
began
we can't judge.
well, not yet. Give me time. Wait a few hours in this timeline, and then she started cutting
Oh
herself.
no. Oh
Yes.
man, that's a
And then she
lot.
wrote this letter, which is like, this is just one page, but it's like multiple pages long.
So unstable.
It is, oh yeah, I'm actually looking. Well, she says that she can prove this and identify that blankety blank is mentally unstable. So, I mean, you said that about her, but she's also claiming that her ex-girlfriend that she tried to beat up is also mentally unstable.
Hmm.
That's what they always I've been broken up with. Well,
Well, there's hope though. Well,
I have
there's
broken up
hope.
with people before that they like to throw that like if you hurt someone's feeling when you break up with them,
Yeah,
they immediately go to mentally unstable. I'm just putting that out there.
you're a mental unstable manipulator, right? Yes, yes. Uh, well, she
I had
also
a
went
judge
through
one
that.
time say, "Didn't she know she was mentally unstable when you met her? If this is in fact what you were saying she was."
Say, listen, listen.
Well, no, I didn't know that at first. It didn't become apparent until I lunged at her and then started cutting myself and writing these letters. Uh, she continues, I finally found a small window of hope in my life when I met a girl named, oh, another one named Blankety Blank.
So many blankety blanks out there. I didn't know it was such a common
It's just
name.
blurred out. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and say Tiffany. She is an angel who showed me I can move forward from the 3 years of hell I had endured. When
Okay.
when
I'm
blankety blank
sorry I
number
shared the
one,
letter.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. When blankety blank number one, how does this stuff even become public? When
Because
Someone
we're
blankety
just
living in a
blank,
movie. This is a movie. None of this is real.
please
It's
try to pay
crazy.
please try to follow along because I'm getting confused here. When the original blankety blank found out that I had a connection with the new blankety blank, someone else, she chose to once again ruin everything. She broke into my phone. That's a that's a very nebulous statement. You know what I
she
mean?
broke into my phone.
Like
Listen, this bitch.
like I don't know, like what does that mean? She's like texted your friend. I don't know what that means. Like she broke into my phone, called blankety blank number two. This is the current blankety blank,
Oh boy.
and made up lies about me still being in a physical relationship with her. I have not been. I love how she like has the.
How was she able to get into her phone and if she wasn't having a physical relationship?
I don't, yeah, and it says, I have not been in a
I don't.
relationship with blankety blank since March 2021. I love how she has this timeline down.
I
It's like, yeah,
know.
she has
I have
continued to
everything
make
mapped
my
out.
life. I begged her for 7 months to leave my house and offered to pay her to go. Oh, so this person also lived in your house for seven? Sure. Okay, that's
That's how
odd.
she knows the code.
Yeah.
They live together.
Yeah. Oh,
Like I
that's
have
very they
a
move they talk about it. Lesbian first date, they bring a U-Haul. Like that's a real thing. They what does a lesbian
really
bring to
like
their
that's
first date? A U-Haul. That's a joke. It's a real based on, Asian people can't drive like that.
that's real
It's a real
weird.
thing.
That's like so
Yeah.
like I get that when you're 19, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like maybe like really in love and like your parents are giving you a hard time and you just want to
Sure.
like,
I'm
yeah,
out of here. I'm tired of this shit.
you think you know
Yeah.
everything, but like when you're in your 30s and like
Still doing that?
Yeah.
applying for real jobs, like for the government, like fire departments,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna
Yeah.
need you to get your shit together. Like I think it's
I
a
think that's
moral
just kind of what the
obligation.
deal is. No one really has their shit together. I think that, you
What I'm
know,
Well,
learning.
there's
no, like yeah,
CEOs and
that that being said, I mean, it does it, you know,
fire
every
captains
other
making $750,000 a year literally don't have their shit together at all.
I just thought this letter was insane because it was like, yeah, there's
What is
police
going
reports.
on
There's
there?
police like there's like official like they tried to like without like any kind of job application or hiring
Yeah.
process, like get this woman into a really important position.
Hmm.
And
Crowley was
and
talking about it on the show this week. He said
oh
that,
really? Okay, good.
yeah, he was talking about how these women have been placed in these positions of power and they're like talking pieces, but he also made the connection that um they're like the predators, like they're the velociraptor, like no one is scared of them and they can do whatever. He was like talking about the lady in San Francisco who went to the Tony concert and she was like, hey, what am I gonna do? The lady
No,
that went and got her
there
hair cut. But
there
then
is
he said like
something to
Gavin
that.
Newsom like has to apologize because he's a white male, but these black women that have been put into positions of power, like they refuse to apologize for anything. They're like, no, I won't even talk about why I went to Ghana when I said I wouldn't.
I remember Ace talking about that. I think I would like to add like another layer, like where it's like they we gotten to a spot where it's like when they're on the defensive for like yeah, what Ace was saying is like these they have no fear. Like they're apex predators. They have no
Yeah,
fear. Like
that's the word he used.
yeah, they do feel like they could just like throw their draw like their insane, like literally insane, like broken human trauma out
Yeah,
and they somehow use it as a shield or as it is a very it's very it's a very upside down thing to understand where
Hmm.
they throw all their trauma and their mental illness out on the street. And instead of everybody calling the loony bin truck to come and pick them up and to scoop them up and throw them in the bin to never be seen again, they use it as an armor.
yeah. Like
Like
you can't. This is
they
who I
use it as
am.
they use it as a spear in some way. I guess that's like the weaponized empathy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They use that as like a spear to essentially just grift money because a lot of it does come down to just like
I think I mean, they are almost victims in
grifting.
a way because I think they are placed into these positions just for optics. So who's placing them in those positions? It's not other people that are
Oh,
in
that's a
their
good point.
position. You know what I mean? Like they're put in these positions where
Someone is
they don't know
using
what they're doing.
them.
Yes.
Yeah, someone obviously understands that they are not
Yeah.
strong leaders, that they are actually very fragile human beings, and that they would like them to be an underling.
I think
And
that O'Keefe
yes,
Media, what they kind of unfolded in one of their things where the gays were talking, they said that like the way to slow down government is like at the lower level. Like they can just kind of slow the wheels of justice, or if you will, like
Yeah,
they
the
can
bigger,
just
yeah,
slow
yeah,
everything
you're right.
down. Bureaucracy.
There was a recent James O'Keefe Media Group OMG
Yeah.
video where there was like a young person that was talking about Trump coming in and talking about how they were just, it was just a like I don't think these young people realize how devious sons of bitches they've become. Like this little rat bastard weasel was talking about how like all the stuff they could do to stop any like to basically stop what people
Anything.
voted for, talking about how they would like I remember that guy he was talking about how the bureaucracy way to like to just run things off the rails was to basically do a commitment to study.
Yeah.
So they'll just be like, yes, we will study um, the idea of reducing taxes and letting people have more of their own money,
Isn't it interesting that
but they'll
that's what
never
Biden
do it.
said
They'll
that
just
he had
study it.
signed? He had
They'll just
signed
study it.
the thing that he had signed into whatever that the Speaker of the House, he had the conversation with him where he really felt like Biden didn't understand it. He said, no, what I signed was a study to go into that natural gas thing, not that, he had stopped it completely. It
Was
was
that?
some sort of study that they were doing. Like, I think the study, I think you're right. It's
Yeah. But this was just like
ridiculous.
a low, this wasn't even Biden, but it was like a low level weasel, like a
Yeah.
nobody who somehow in this bureaucracy, in this Politburo of a Soviet landscape that we've turned the United States government into, like some nobody piece of garbage, nepotism hire, just
Yeah.
again, just I cannot, I'm saying nobody in the most derogatory way possible,
Sure.
like is in charge, is like governing people,
Yeah.
is like governing and affecting people's lives. And he is a two-bit piece of shit political science major
Yeah.
that has never produced anything in his life. And he's on film with, I mean, probably trying to get, was he trying to get laid? Because that's like a,
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
whole undercover, like the whole, like, I hope everybody else is noticing the whole undercover O'Keefe Media Group or Project Veritas, like
It
how,
always comes down to just someone trying to get laid.
I mean,
Yes.
really, it's like
Yeah.
90% gay people in
Yeah.
DC that are like on their first date off of a Tinder or Grinder or whatever the fuck they
Literally
are.
first dates. It's
And
wild.
they are just spilling all the beans. Like they're just
So
like
many
it,
beans.
like whether it's for some vagina or for
And I
some
love when they
anus,
get busted
like
after. They're
they are
so
just
mad.
yeah, they are just like bragging and talking about criminal activity and
Yeah.
unethical activity and just like such
Yep.
anti-American
Yeah. Definitely search out James O'Keefe
uh
media page. Like
like
the videos are priceless. It's so good.
and they're all just like I'm telling like first off whoever like in the olden days when they were like you don't get promoted in the army unless you're married and have kids,
Right.
like those guys were onto something because no offense Manny but single people they got loose lips and they sink ships because they're trying to get some. Like,
Right. Right.
I mean, like if you're a divorcee in DC and you work for the government, like you need to be on a list. Like, you need to be watched. Like there needs to be an agent like following you around on all your Tinder dates
Yeah.
because you're just telling you're like giving your passwords over to everything. It's crazy, like the way they talk, and it's like the same formula every time. It's a Tinder date. They released a documentary, the OMG group. It's called, I think it's called like
How to get fucked in DC.
no, it's called like The Right Swiper because that's how they get all their stuff.
The right swipe.
They just go on Tinder or Grinder and they just like carpet bomb with profiles until some sucker, like some desperate sucker, always ugly, always ugly, some desperate fool like hooks up with
Yeah.
them and like goes to dinner and they just like start telling every like just like confessing all kinds of crimes.
So good. So good.
It's amazing.
It's
Like,
so
yeah, if
good.
you're in the, I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, I know it sounds harsh, but like, if you're not married with kids, and I'm not, you need to
Like,
submit. You
No, I
you
like it.
bet
That's a good.
you don't get to do anything. Like you don't get to be in the army. Like you don't get to fly an airplane. Like
Yeah, yeah.
and if the government was
You're
like,
compromised. You're compromised. Let's be honest,
yes,
Manny.
if the Department of Defense was just
What if I
like, if
don't
you,
know that I have a kid out there?
I'm saying the Department of Defense could be like, we need to see sex tapes. We need to see tapes. Like, like we've been fooled so many times that we need to actually see you making those kids. Like this is no joke.
That's very intrusive.
I know, but seriously, like it's kind of getting to that point.
Just take my
James
word for
O'Keefe,
it, okay?
James O'Keefe is like,
He's gonna
Dude, this is
send
what it.
somebody
This
in
is
like I'm
with
this
not
is what.
like if it was
camera
World War
button
II,
cameras.
if it was World War II, some fucking horny ass intern would have been like, here's where we're going into D-Day.
Yeah, yeah,
Here's the plan for the beaches of Normandy.
yeah, for sure.
Can I take you home now? Like, can I get a little nookie? Like, here's the plan to defeat the evil empire. Well, can I touch your boobies now? That's literally how it would have gone down.
Right.
We're in big trouble. Like, I'm not, I mean, I know it sounds terrible, but seriously, Department of Defense, Pentagon, if you don't have like 6 kids, you're out. 6 kids minimum.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm sorry, man, but like all these
yeah,
divorcees, these single people at the Pentagon, they just keep telling everybody everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
You
easy
would think that
too.
they would like have these people sign NDAs so they wouldn't go out there blabbing their mouths about this shit.
they may have signed them. It's hard to say. They get very upset once they realize they've spilled the beans. These people like they
You
lose
remember
their
that
minds.
guy?
They
He
go
was like
crazy.
that one guy. It was a few years ago. He was like, "I'm a liar." Right?
Sure.
He was the gay black dude that was like telling all kinds of horrible, like Fauci,
Yeah,
like all kinds of FDA. I think it was like big lies.
yeah, big
Mhm.
And then
ones.
when James O'Keefe was confronted him, he was like, "I'm a liar."
He just broke down. He couldn't take it anymore.
He just was like, I was just
He
lying.
cracked.
He
Oh
literally screamed at
man,
the camera like, "I'm a liar."
it's so good.
He was like, maybe, well, I mean, I don't know. Like you were pretty convincing when you're trying to get laid.
Hmm.
What time are we living in, honestly? Like undercover media companies, like cracking cases against big pharma and the deep state. Like it's just what a wild time to be alive. I
I
know
mean,
that
remember the
some people say like
Russians?
it's horrible, but I mean I think it's a pretty great time to be alive. Like so much is happening.
Imagine like the frustration of like an old KGB guy, because
Uh-huh.
you would have to go through like great lengths to set people up. You know what I mean? Like you'd have to go to like great lengths, spend millions of dollars or rubles to like
Yeah. And it was
set
a
up
long
like
con. It
yeah,
wasn't like a little
you would have to set up
first
like
date.
you would have to set up like networks of spies to like get a State Department official at a higher ranking level to like sleep with a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's just like you just need to like set up a
People are just so
thousand.
willing to do it. They could. You don't
Yeah.
have to. You
Yeah.
just like it's all out there for them to do it themselves.
Now if you work at
Yep.
the KGB, you could just set up like 1,000 like fake Tinder profiles and just like
Yeah.
let them come and
Just
it's just like
wait.
go fish. It's just like you're just going fishing in the ocean. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
just reel fish in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this, but like imagine like it made me think about like the Chinese spies. So if you're like a Chinese
Like
spy,
Mitch McConnell's wife.
yeah,
I'm sorry, go
exactly.
ahead.
Yeah. But like if you're a Chinese spy, like it do they get like assigned to Grinder and all the gay like people like working at the Pentagon?
Oh no.
Is that like an entry level Chinese spy job or is that like
You get worked up the ranks.
yeah, you got to work up the ranks till you get access to the Pentagon gays?
Oh my God, that's so funny. It's a valid question.
I'm
Very
serious because it's
valid.
like, because if you're like a rookie Chinese spy and
Uh-huh.
like they're just like, you work a tiki-taka, you work a tiki-taka gay,
You get that crazy Q mama.
and like all you and like your assignment as a junior Chinese spy is just like watching a ton of gay stuff on TikTok just to write reports,
Right.
just to keep stats.
Did you
Like,
see that
dude.
did
But
you
like
see the
it, but
red
like
note thing
once
that
you
they said?
if you do a lot of good reports on that, like then you'll get access to like Pentagon, like
Mhm.
Pentagon Tinder, you know, where
They're
the
like, here are
real
all
like
our
where
employees
like you
that
can
we've been
really
keeping
get the
tabs on.
money, like where you can really get the big stuff, like the big stories.
I
I
don't
really
know, dude.
wonder because it
It's
is like a numbers game. You got to like the Chinese got a lot of spies like working on this stuff, and it's like
Mhm.
I just wonder,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like
What are
you
they
got to
working on?
like they put like the junior spies on the TikTok just to desensitize them to the American stuff, like the
Mhm.
just to
Did you see when all the
desensitize them.
TikTokers went to the red note to the Chinese app?
Yes.
Like that China was not happy about that.
That shit was hilarious.
I think that has a lot to do with the new TikTok too, but it came
Yeah.
back
Mhm.
because they were like, "All right, TikTok, you can come back in the United States, but
Calm it down.
you gotta knock that some of that stuff off."
It's different. It's different since it came back up. And it was only
Yeah,
down
that's
for 17 hours. I just want to point that out.
yeah, that
Only
was
down for 7.
amazing. It's almost like there's no laws in America.
It's all theater is what I'm realizing.
It
Yeah.
really it
If
really does
Trump
come
cancels taxes, it really does feel like nothing's real. Like honestly, if he does do
it
that, if he
really
gets that accomplished, like
it
okay,
really
nothing's
does
That's not
real.
come
gonna
down
happen.
it really does come down to like who can sign the checks.
Mhm.
Like really it does. It like who can legally sign the checks.
And
Like
stop signing the checks for
exactly.
Zelensky, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
more importantly.
that's really kind of like what like we can talk about democracy and all this stuff all we want and constitutional republic, but it's like it really kind of comes down to who controls the check.
Mhm.
Who can sign a check and who can not sign a check. Yeah.
I mean, in
And
life too,
that's what
honestly.
really that's what is like I think Tucker Carlson said that or somebody like or maybe Tim Pool was talking about that like you can talk about the 2020 election being illegitimate,
Right.
right? But like the cold hard fact is like Joe Biden was president. Like and you can look at him as a dumb old man and a weak old man, but like there's
Yep.
good chance that like the 2020 election was kind of dodgy and this guy was just like I'm the fucking president now.
Can you
Mhm.
believe that people are interpreting Trump saying that there was a rigged election, that he meant that this current election was rigged,
I
that they
can
can
believe it, yeah.
jump their mind to that's what that said. I was thinking, like, could you put a little like no, you have all the context. There's no missing context. Like it's all in that whole thing there. And
It's a
you're
joke. I mean, yeah.
so weird.
I mean, I you can go on YouTube right now and go to like a pretty reputable YouTube page, not like Crackpot 101. And there's compilations of network news where you've got prominent Democrat figures, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, like all of them talking about 2016 was not a legitimate election and
Yeah.
2016 was stolen and the Russians stole election and Trump's not like you can
Yeah.
go online and just watch the montages of these people saying the exact opposite or the same or the very same stuff. I mean, you can go on YouTube and watch a montage of Anthony Fauci lying straight to people's faces, like it's on PBS.
You can find a video of Obama saying the exact same thing. If you're illegal and you've broken the law, we're sending you home. If you've done this, we're sending you home. Like he sent home more people than any other president before him.
Yeah,
Like,
I wonder if Trump can beat him. Yeah, Obama was the deporter in chief. He
I
deported a
mean,
lot of people.
he might have to
You
because
think
if
that's what
you're
this
letting
is?
in
He's trying to
3,000
not
people
let.
a day, 6,000 people a day, there's a lot of people that have to go home.
What are you saying, Manny?
No, I was just gonna say, do you think that's what this is? Trump is trying to not let Obama outshine him in that department.
I don't know. I actually I uh I don't think that Trump is going to get this is just my opinion. I could be very, very wrong. There's a very good chance I'm wrong.
Hmm.
But I don't think Trump is going to get too deep into the deportation stuff,
Deportation.
deportation stuff after the criminals. Now, there's probably going to be a lot of fake asylees, single dudes,
Right.
getting sent back, but I really don't think I think he's savvy enough and the situation is set up for him enough to where he can spend a lot of time deporting criminals, deporting single dudes.
Hmm.
Um, and it'll be a long time before he gets into like deporting any kind. And by that time, it's 6 months or a year into his presidency,
Right.
and people aren't paying as close of attention. Um, I could be wrong, but I don't know. I really don't, because I don't think Trump is a cruel person. I do actually think that Donald Trump um, values people that have lived here for 10 plus years, maybe a little
Hmm.
less, maybe more, and are like functioning, contributing, or essentially like, functioning, contributing citizens of the United States. Like
Right.
I don't, I mean, maybe he's going to let his guys like go nuts and get deep into that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think they will. A few of them are going to get, quite a few are going to get overzealous with it, but
Yeah, but I don't, I think they're going to have a lot of easy wins
hmm
what they're doing now, which is deporting criminals, just going to jail, showing up at jails, like snatching up the guys that are on the lists,
Yeah.
sending them back to Venezuela, making those flights really public.
hmm
Um, Number one, sealing off the border, which has pretty much been sealed off. Like, ain't nobody new coming.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a few here and there with some really good coyotes, but for the most part, the new immigrants or whatever, it's over. Like, it's sealed.
Well, millions of
Um,
people
so
are
I don't,
here illegally. So I mean, if they have to
I
go
think
hard, they have
that,
to go hard, right?
I think, well, I think it's kind of like you show up with the Marines at the border and people stop coming. Like, it's kind of simple in that way. And then I think that the American people's appetite for seeing, because I think it changes so fast. Like, we are very fickle. We do change a lot. Like, the American people's appetite for people being deported will soon fall off a little bit and
hmm
will be satiated by a bunch of criminals. And then, like, I guess today there was a standoff with Mexico where we had a plane full of illegals going back, and they said they wouldn't let them land, so the plane never took off.
Wow.
That kind of thing, even though they didn't go back, that kind of thing takes up a lot of energy. They will eventually go back. But again, I think, like, I don't know that we're going to get that deep into families.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I do think Trump is very savvy, and when it gets into bad optics,
hmm
right? When
Well,
if
it's
a
already started
if
though. Like they're saying like the school districts are sending out paperwork like how to deal with ICE and what you should do. And
well,
you need to have an emergency contact for your children just in case you get deported and ICE needs to know what to do with your children. Like
this is how
this
things
whole
change
scare
very
can
fast. Like,
yeah.
so, like, and this is very cynical, but so recently in our news, like, American citizens have been killed by illegal immigrants that had records or whatever.
hmm
That creates a fervor, right? But if something like that doesn't happen, like if Trump is effective and like seals off the border, stops all the new ones coming in, puts a fear in people, like people are, we're gonna come after you, like, and if like we don't have more Lake and Rileys,
Right.
because part of the energy that, I mean, I'm just being very honest about like what feeds the mob, right?
Right.
And I'm part of the mob, but it's those stories that kind of feed the energy. So if like we go like a year without one of those stories happening, then the American people's resolve to deport people will start to wane.
hmm
And I'm not really talking about right or wrong. I'm just talking about what is it, that's just going to be the way it is. I could be
Right.
wrong. There could be like a lot more like immigrants, asylum seekers, Trinidad guys killing innocent American women, college students, and the fervor picks up again. But I think that if
All
it
right.
doesn't, like, people, people will be satisfied with Tom Homan deporting a bunch of criminals, a bunch of tatted up dudes, a
Right.
bunch of airport showdowns
Yeah.
Hmm.
where we win and we kind of are able to exert our dominance over a smaller country by making them take their people back, then I think that a lot of the American desire to deport will be satiated.
Yeah.
I,
I mean,
very off
I
topic, but I think
there's a
like
lot of people
again,
that are in our country that shouldn't be here. I think that there's a lot of people that they should be hunting, literally. I think that we saw people on our border saying they want to bring harm to us. I think those people should be found. The guy who said, "You will know who I am at some point," I mean, I think he should be found.
yeah,
So I'm not talking about families that came over and lost their children because a lot of people did. I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that need to be hunted down. I'm fine
Hmm.
with it.
yeah. I mean, I agree, but also you said should like yeah. There's like a we go in these periods where we're like what should like we go in these periods in America where what should happen does happen, but then we
Yeah.
also go in these periods where like what should happen doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like, and
Yeah.
people start feeling sorry for migrants more than they feel angry about the dude that killed Lake and Riley. Like, so it's like I it's very unrelated, but I as an American, I will never forget pre-Iraq after 9/11, like pre-Iraq war, before we went in, like the American public was like 70% down with it. Like
Yeah.
70% of
Oh,
the
for
American people are
sure.
just like, let's go in there and fuck these people up. Let Coop and Russ go off. You know,
If you
like,
don't think we're not looking
and
dead
then
on another event like that to bring us all together,
my
like
my my
that's,
my point, my like this the ending of this story is sad because 3 months later, when we had casualties and when we hit like the 1,000 casualty mark,
Hmm.
because it wasn't like a because it turned out it wasn't a video game. It was the opposite. It was 70% of people were just like, maybe we shouldn't have done this.
right.
And it was like I remember seeing that on Fox News or MSN, like NBC News at the time, and just being like, "Oh my God, like we are so pathetic." Like I was real like that. Like I'll never forget that. That was very like that. I guess that's human. It's human. It's humanity. It was probably the same in like the Roman times and like
Right.
even further back where like the nation was just like, let's send our boys in there and kill these people, and then like 3 months later, when we had started racking up some casualties, like the American public
Yeah.
was just like, we should have never done that. And
Yeah.
it's just so pathetic. And like the whole world saw that. And that, I mean, I'm convinced like that's why like Al Qaeda and ISIS and all those guys, they never stopped because they're just like, these people are soft.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why it
They've
didn't
been
really
hating
work.
for, I mean, since the beginning of time.
That's why it was like, I mean, I don't, yeah, I mean, I want to respect the people that fought there. So it's like, I don't want to say it wasn't it was a waste or something like that. But it's like that's why like we left Afghanistan, and I think there's probably more Afghanis that would like to kill America than there were in 2001.
Yeah.
Like from the
Here?
last 20, 30,
No.
like I think we've made things worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
The plane full of
because
money that we send every week
again,
probably
because
isn't
again,
helping.
because like in 2000 and what year was that? 2002, I guess. It was like again, before we went in, all of America was like, go in there and kill them. And then like a
Yeah.
few months later was everybody changed their mind and it was
Sure.
pathetic.
Once, yeah, it's hard. War's
So I
hard.
think we signaled to
It's weird
everybody at
how
that
the
point.
left loves war now, but yeah.
We signaled to China at that time that we weren't really serious. We signaled to all the terrorists that we weren't serious. We signaled to Putin, of course, that like it
Yeah.
was like, and also like the Obama era and the Syrian red line. We are like, if you cross this
Uh,
red line and you gas your
yeah.
people, we're gonna do, and then like we didn't do anything about it. It's
Yeah.
like there's really no surprise that Putin took Crimea and Ukraine, and during the George Bush years, he attacked Georgia. I think it was at that point.
Hmm.
Like Trump is the only president in the last 30 years that during which Russia didn't try to expand.
It's been the only disruptor.
Like George Bush, Obama was like, I'm going to go into Georgia because this guy ain't going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like Obama, I'm going to take Crimea because this guy ain't going to do anything about it. Trump era doesn't do anything. Biden comes in, he's like, I'm going to take, Eastern Ukraine because this old man ain't going to do anything about it.
Hmm.
Oh, so basically, we got 4 years. Trump's got 4 years to destroy as much of these bastards as they
Nothing
can.
to lose. I hope
I
it's
hope
just,
that, I pray that him and JD Vance and Elon Musk and the gang, like, it's very precarious. I feel like this Elon Musk, Donald Trump friendship, because they're both total alphas, do whatever the fuck they want at any
yeah.
point, and they don't give a
Yeah.
damn. I hope and pray that Trump and JD Vance could just stay cool for 4 years. Because I gotta, like Trump's that kind of guy. Like,
He's a wild
he
card,
makes it
dude.
he
You
makes
can't
it
you can't
hard.
tell
He makes it hard because you're just like, oh man, I'm with you. And then he throws a wild card and you're just like, I'm with you, but that was
what are you
kind of
doing here.
surprising. Like
Oh,
he's like that. So I really pray that like they can continue that and Trump
I think they're both
values that.
Geminis. I think Elon's a Gemini too.
What does that
That would
mean?
make a lot of sense.
I don't know.
Well, I'm mostly JD Vance because I hope Trump can realize that if he wants his legacy, like if he kicks ass
Yeah.
for 4 years and he wants it to not just get overturned, like he's erasing Obama
He has
like
to make
every
the
day. Like,
people love JD as much as they love him. He's got to let JD shine a little bit this next 4 years. Uh-oh.
Will he
I
is the
think
real question.
I think Christopher's frozen.
Or maybe he's just lost his thought. He's just like, you know what, Corona? You bring
You're
up such a
right.
great
He
point.
said it twice tonight.
I don't know. You have stolen the words right out of my mouth.
Well, maybe we should just say goodnight.
Oh no, there he
Just,
is. We
oh,
oh,
got him
sorry,
back.
I think that was my internet.
yeah.
I think
What
that's
do
a
you
sign from
think?
your internet. Be like, yo,
But I was
that's enough
saying,
for
like,
tonight,
yeah,
boss.
Trump needs, like, I hope Trump can appreciate JD Vance as like as someone that can carry on the mission,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me
and they
too.
don't like because I can see it happening, but I hope not.
Yeah.
And the
I think
Elon
they
Musk
will.
thing too. Like, I could see the Elon Musk thing going real sour.
Yeah.
That makes
More
me
than it already
uncomfortable.
has.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, like Trump is big in with Sam Altman and OpenAI, and Elon Musk thinks that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like just I mean, he's like that girlfriend that's just like he's talking shit about talking shit about your other friends.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That puts a lot of pressure on the relationship. Yeah, when your new
True
girlfriend does
that.
not like your high school friends, like that can cause us some
A lot of friction, a lot of tension.
difficult dynamics. But I hope they like winning more than you know.
Well, we'll see how things
Yeah.
progress
Yeah.
as the
Yeah. It's been
term
4 days.
plays out. Yeah, we got 4 years, so let's just pump the brakes and just take it a day at a
Ooh.
time.
I'm not even sure what to think about that. Yeah, that's good or bad.
It's all up in the air, man. Honestly, it's all in the air, up in the air at this point. So
What do we
don't
have
place
to
it.
look forward to this week? We have I'm not sure if the JFK MLK files will come out anytime soon. That'll be a little
Might
bit.
find out what the drones are. Someone's looking into that. I saw one outside my bedroom window the other day, or when I where I take a bath. It was like it was just like blinking.
It
It
was
was there
spying on you.
for the longest time. I sent Bill outside to look. He's like, it's very far away, so don't be concerned. And he's like, it is blinking. It appears to be a blinking star. And I was like, oh, one of those blinking stars. He's
It's
like,
one of the blinking
it's fine. It's
drones.
probably fine. And then it was just gone. I was like, okay, well, that blinking star is now gone. It was there. I recorded it. I'll send it to you
I
guys.
mean, between between Amazon and
Mhm.
CVS and Walgreens and
And
Walmart's
Walmart.
drone division, it's like, and the aliens, it's like, I don't even know. Like
Yeah, you'll
maybe,
never.
maybe that's it. Maybe the CVS drones will protect us from the alien drones one day.
Yeah.
And
Well,
everybody's going to be like, please
I think
save us,
Trump,
CVS and
I think
Walgreens.
tomorrow the topic at hand is going to be Trump talking about what happened in LA, the fires. I think that's going to be the news du jour. What did he mean? Why did he say that?
I
I think
guess,
he's going to
oh,
get
the
asked
hit
why he
it
said
thing.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, we're not going to get any answers. It'll be very unsatisfying, but
Mhm.
maybe.
he said what he said he said that for a reason.
He wanted to
Um,
get a bunch of people riled up, I'm
yeah, I
sure.
guess like Trump flew into LA and Gavin Newsom like surprised him at the airport or something like
Yeah,
that.
the handshake was, I can't wait to go watch the handshake. Oh, I've been so busy today. I can't wait to like have a minute to like look at it.
Which is
Yeah,
such a strange dynamic because it's like it's sad, but also if you're the governor, I guess you
Uh-huh.
kind of have to do because I what Gavin Newsom he said that the President Trump's been ghosting him because he hasn't been returning his calls or
Well,
texts, has just been ignoring him.
uh-huh.
So I guess if the president is ghosting him because the president considers him just to be completely
trash,
incompetent,
a trash,
yeah,
incompetent
just a
human.
completely complete waste of
Gavin got
space.
like all up in his chest and he's a little bit taller than Trump. He must have had some lifts on or something. Oh,
I mean,
hate him.
I mean, I guess you got to do that, but it is does look pretty pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a
And
big,
so,
big, yeah, big contest on the tarmac with the handshake. They were like,
and it's like, do you think even like also if you're Gavin Newsom, maybe you got that one over on Trump by surprising him and like, giving him a rough handshake or whatever, but like
What does that accomplish?
yeah, he's gonna be going hard after you now. Like he's gonna be
yeah,
going worse. He's like the nicknames.
yeah.
He's probably gonna start talking about your wife.
I mean, she did
It's
fuck
the-
Harvey Weinstein. So to get,
I know it's dirty and all that, but yeah, he's probably gonna start
campaign
talking.
money.
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah.
gonna start talking about your wife and Harvey Weinstein soon.
Yeah. And your
Yeah,
campaign
you
funds.
shouldn't. Yeah, you should not troll a
Mhm.
troll. Like he's
Not good.
way more committed to this than you are.
And nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Gavin has a lot to lose. I'm sure he would love the bid for president at some point. Mm.
I'm sure he
It makes
would,
me
but I don't think
Uh,
sick.
anyone would give him the vote.
well, in closing, I just want to thank all the haters
Yeah.
because without your dedication to believing all the lies, without your um just incredible gullibility
Yeah.
and like your willingness to believe every hoax, every
Hoax.
fucking like common like television script hoax that Hollywood threw at you about Russian spies, about hookers peeing on people. You believed every single one of it
They still do.
because
Some of
you're,
them still do.
yeah, and your hateful energy and your stupidity just fuel this president. You
Yeah.
made it possible for Trump 2.0 to be here now and to just
Yeah.
be rolling over you without any opposition whatsoever.
And
Like
no
your
apologies.
yeah, your idiocy for the last 8 years has basically allowed Trump to do whatever he wants. Like good or bad. I'm not even saying it's right, but like he can do whatever he
Yeah.
wants now. And you can scream all you want and no one's listening
No
to
one
you
cares.
because you're the
Little boy
boy
who
and the
cried for us.
girl and the purple head freak that cried wolf.
Yeah.
And now you're getting run roughshod over and dominated like the Uyghurs in China. And there's nothing you can do about it. So thank you, haters.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You
much.
know, get on, motherfuckers.
Like your slow descent into Trump derangement syndrome has saved the country.
Yes. Oh, amen.
It's amazing. He has used your mental illness against you.
Yeah. And one
It
successfully used your
is
mental illness against you.
in nature's
Yeah.
healing to close
Yeah.
up the wound that is you. That's all. That's all I got to say.
It's good.
I'm so appreciative from the bottom of my tiny, tiny heart.
Coal black heart.
I salute you. I salute you in a totally normal way. No crazy hand gestures whatsoever. Just Just a thumbs up salute to you and your hate and your stupidity and your gullibility.
Yeah.
It's really,
Mhm.
it's fuel.
Good stuff.
They really did it. They really did it.
They did. They really did. Now the next 4 years will be interesting for them.
He's doing whatever he wants. Like he would
Like
this
us.
everything he's doing, yeah. Everything he's doing in 2016, 2017, they pulled out every single stop.
Yeah. No,
Did he freeze again?
he did.
He's gonna start
Oh, there he is.
the next movie he's gonna tell like since he can't stop birthright citizenship, he's gonna stop letting pregnant women come into the country.
It's like,
This is gonna be so funny. It's like they're gonna be
this is
checking
gonna
for
get
baby bumps at
wackier.
customs.
Ultrasound machines.
Well, because he can't change the Constitution and citizenship, but he does
Those
control
PUFAs.
immigration.
Yeah.
The executive
Yeah.
branch does control immigration. So remember, like in 2017, they did a Muslim ban. Everybody freaked out. He could do a pregnancy ban.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There you go. There you go.
You have to get one of those CVS tests before you get in this country. Can't be having it. Can't be having these anchor babies.
Oh man.
Everyone gets a morning after pill to give them what they love. They love abortion. Everyone gets an abortion pill.
Liver by
You know
Fauci.
how when you
Yeah.
have to go to like Africa, you have to take a bunch of pills and shots. When you come to America, you have to take an abortion pill.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's like if you're not going to let him stop this industry that's happening, and I know people think about like, I mean, it's racist, but people think about like Mexican women like waddling across the border when they're 8 months pregnant. It's not that. It's China. It's
Yeah.
India. There's an industry of from first world countries where they fly here on purpose to go to Disney World, but then all of a sudden I'm a baby.
Um, Whole
100%.
thing.
It's an industry. We'll see more about it. And if Trump wants to stop it, yeah, that's what he has to do.
Well,
It's like
we said it first.
no more pregnant women.
So silly. The wine's gotten to you.
I think it
I mean,
has.
that's
This is Christopher wine drunk.
I mean that I'm not even no, it's not even that. It's like that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Like he can
No
actually
choice.
control like he can control immigration laws.
Great.
It is, but I mean, people need to wake up that it is an industry,
It is.
and we have enemies in this world who are not who look like they're friendly, who like to sell us a bunch of stuff and like sell us 99-cent hairbrushes and
They're
cheap
here.
electronics and stuff, but they
Yeah.
are also infiltrating us and they
Yes.
are not fucking around.
Not even a little bit.
And if you don't think the stakes are high and they're playing that game, then you're oblivious. So anyway, get ready to
Right.
take a test before you get on that airplane. I'm telling you, it's coming.
I mean, sign an executive order. I'm in. If as long as it gets signed this week, they're all approved in my book. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for hope and change.
Yeah, he's deleting Obama as
Yeah.
we speak. So anyway, all right. Everybody have a
Mm.
good weekend. We've gone on long enough.
Yeah.
Obama's
Thanks for our
all the
happy
way
hour crew
inside
coming in.
Jennifer Aniston, so he's not worried about it.
Knock it off. Knock it off. You're trying to ruin my weekend.
Happy Friday, you guys.
I don't even
Get
like her,
on,
but
everybody.
still something. Anyway, yeah, do what you want. Get it on. We're back.
Catch you on the next one.